Today's lesson is Lesson 17, the Middle Colonies. In our last lesson, we explored the cold, rocky New England region. We discovered that it contained religious colonies. Most of the people practiced the Puritan faith, and that its main industries were fishing, whaling, and shipbuilding. Today we'll move a little farther south and explore the Middle Colonies. Like the name suggests, the Middle Colonies were a nice blend of the North and South. Keep your ears open for some of the differences and similarities in geography, industry, and religion. The Middle Colonies included New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Agriculture. The abundant new resources in the American colonies and the opportunities for the new beginning caused hundreds upon hundreds of new immigrants to flock here. Eager, hard-working families from Holland, England, Spain, France, Germany, and even Scotland and Ireland arrived from overseas, and with them they brought unique cultures and artistic tastes. These cultures showed up first in the style of homes the settlers built. For example, the Spanish settlers brought with them their almost medieval style homes with high gabled roof lines. The sharp angle of these roofs was actually well suited for the heavy rains and snows, as all of the precipitation ran off the roof and did not harm the structure of the house. Additionally, the infamous log cabin that early settlers are well known for actually came from the Swedish settlers. It was during this phase of agricultural crafting in the New World that the colonial-style house was built, and by the hands of none other than the Dutch settlers. As a family, look up the different settlers in the Middle Colonies and what culture they brought with them, specifically in their homes and agriculture. What appeals to you most and why? Which homes do you think were the best adapted to the life in the new world? Industry. Because of the temperature climate and fertile soil, the Middle Colonies were known for their crops. This made farming a very successful industry. Corn and wheat were two of the most popular crops, and since both were used to prepare a variety of food, they sold quickly, not only to those in their own region, but to the colonists from the north and south as well. Another aspect that made farming such a strong industry was that the crops were exported to Europe. After some time, this area became known as the breadbasket colonies because it produced so much wheat, a key ingredient for making bread. Because of the temperate climate and fertile soil, the Middle Colonies were known for their crops. This made farming a very successful industry. Corn and wheat were two of the most popular crops, and since both were used to prepare a variety of good, they sold quickly, not only to those in their own region, but to colonists from the north and the south as well. Another aspect that made farming such a strong industry was that the crops were exported to Europe. After some time, this area became known as the breadbasket colonies because it produced so much wheat, a key ingredient for making bread. Not only did the Middle Colonies grow important crops, they also provided food by the way of livestock. Cows and pigs kept by many farmers were sold locally and overseas. These animals were not only used by the colonists, but they are still an important part of the American industry today. Another major industry for the Middle Colonies was the manufacturing of products made from iron ore. Let's take a look at what iron ore is. Iron is a mineral. Ore is a rock that contains a valuable mineral. So iron ore is a rock that contains iron. The iron could be extracted from or pulled out of the rock and was used to make steel. Steel was then used to make a variety of products such as pots, tools, and nails. Once again, this industry was successful because of the local sales and exports to Europe. The iron pots that your mom uses or your grandma uses are the ones that are similar to what they made with this iron. Religion. Unlike the New England colonies, the Middle colonies were not dominated by one particular religious affiliation. However, while Catholics, Lutherans, and Jews all made their homes here and practiced their religion freely, Quakers were the largest religious group in the region. This was because the colony of Pennsylvania was founded as a safe haven for them. You see, Quakers did not fit the guidelines of the Church of England, nor did they meet the standards of the Puritans who lived in New England. Because of this, they suffered a great deal of persecution for their beliefs, including being thrown in jail or having their land taken from them. When William Penn, a Quaker man, founded Pennsylvania, he reached out to the rest of the Quaker community, and by the end of the 17th century, over 20,000 Quaker settlers had made it their home. Pennsylvania would prove to be an important colony in the early formation of the United States. Another activity break that you can do is find out, what did the Quakers believe? Why were they given the name Quaker? Do some research to find out and discuss your thoughts on their beliefs. In what way are these beliefs similar or different from your own? Because no single religion was enforced in the Middle colonies, there was a great deal of religious freedom. This attracted settlers from all backgrounds, and the Middle colonies quickly became one of the most diverse areas in early America. In addition to English settlers, Swedish, Dutch, German, Irish, Scottish, and French all made their homes here and lived fairly peaceably with one another. Indigenous Americans were also found throughout the region, and because of the accepting nature of the Quakers and the laws established by William Penn, which required settlers to pay the indigenous people for their land, the relationship between people groups was much stronger in this area for a time. Unfortunately, as time went on and William Penn's son took over leadership of Pennsylvania, the friendly relationship between indigenous Americans and European settlers began to falter. And that concludes our lesson 17 for today.